Greetings. I hope everybody is managing to stay safe and sound and stay indoors and practice social distancing and all of that stuff. As you know, we are, as of this recording anyway, and I hope I'm wrong. It appears that this COVID-19 pandemic that the world is currently experiencing. It appears that it's going to get worse before it gets better. So again, I hope that everybody is staying safe regarding that. These are tough times that we're in right now, and I think our industry, the guitar industry, the MI business, is going to take. Is certainly going to take a hit, just like so many other industries out there. This isn't much of a planned video. For the most part, I just kind of turned on the camera and sat down in front of it. Because I wanted to talk about something. If you followed my channel for any length of time at all, or for a while anyway, I guess I haven't talked about this in a while, but if you've been following my channel for a while, you're probably aware that I have always been in support of Guitar Center. Of course, I was a manager at one of their stores for about 6 years, and it was I had a very, very good experience working there, and still lots of fond memories from that particular time in my career, and I'm very grateful. And because of that, I have always supported Guitar Center. A lot of things in our industry have changed and progressed, and so much more of it, just like any industry, has moved online, et cetera, et cetera. I wanted to share today why I one of the recent reasons why I still continue to offer my support to Guitar Center. Say what you want about them. I'm not going to pretend like they're not without their problems. They certainly are. A lot of their store staffs nowadays are inexperienced, and and that's not necessarily a fault of Guitar Centers. There's only so much money that they can pay their employees, and so much incentive that they can offer, as profit margins in the MI business are extremely low. And Guitar Center is not alone in this. This is most retail places, but they're not always able to be as selective with their employees as they would like. But they do have a lot of good people working for them in their stores. They have a lot of young, enthusiastic, energetic people that may not quite have the experience under the belt yet. And what really, really pisses me off, and what really irritates me, is when I see people groups posting groups on Facebook, and these big, huge, long threads bashing Guitar Center, and talking about, this kid behind the counter, I asked for this and he offered me this. You very well may be correct that what he suggested or what he offered was probably the wrong thing, but there was a point in time when you were just as inexperienced as he was. There was a point in time when I was just as inexperienced as he or she was. Why not take that opportunity, and maybe offer him, offer to teach him something, and a lot of what I learned came from, healthy, friendly interactions with customers, as opposed to an interaction with somebody who he or she standing on the other side of the counter, automatically assuming I'm trying to screw him out of something, because it's not the case at all. And most of the time that's not the case. I've done a couple of videos on similar topics like this in the past, and I get people complaining, saying, well, Guitar Center did this, Guitar Center did this, and I've had to ask the right questions, and about half the time, what it is that people are mad about is their own fault. And I had there was one viewer a while back, a few months back, actually was he wanted full retail for his guitar, and he had posted this big, huge, long thread about how how bad Guitar Center is, and and all that stuff. And what it turned out was he wanted full retail, full market retail value for his used Strat, probably a little more than that, to be honest. And he was upset that Guitar Center wouldn't give it to him. And the logic with him was, as many stores as Guitar Center has, was that why couldn't they just give him what he wanted for his guitars and let one of the other stores in the chain absorb the loss? That's not how business works. And I see I see people people who are complaining about Guitar Center. About half the time it's something like this. I'm not going to say that everybody that has a complaint is wrong. I'm not saying that, but a large chunk of the time, not all the details are being disclosed as to why they're upset. Which leads me to the point of this video. If you want to know what kind of a company Guitar Center really is, in these tough times, there's a lot of people not working. I am sitting here talking to the camera in my lounge around shorts and t-shirt, as I have been holed up in this house for going on 2 weeks now. Just trying to stay indoors and stay safe. And since then, I have learned that, Guitar Center is doing everything that they can to take care of their employees during this difficult time. As of this recording right now, about 95% of their stores are closed. So they have, a lot of their store employees are not able to go to work right now. Those employees have all gotten, are all receiving, I think, 2 weeks worth of compensation until their unemployment benefits can kick in long enough for this, for this pandemic to calm down to where they can come back to work. And also in the interim, they are also continuing to pay for those employees' health benefits. They have offered, if any of their employees test positive for the coronavirus, they have offered to pay for the test and and extend their sick time up to a couple of weeks. The CEO, Ron Japenga, has opted to forego his own salary until this is over. The highest paid guy in the company is as of last week, I think I heard, the highest paid guy in the company is working for free right now. The rest of the executives have all taken pay cuts, as well as the VPs. All of the highest paid people in the company have all opted to take a lower salary in an effort to take care of the people working on their front line. Guitar Center's front line. I'm not talking about the COVID-19 front line. That's an entirely that's an entirely separate group of heroes that I think we all should be thankful for right now. But for the people, the really really hardworking people throughout the Guitar Center chain, the company is working very hard to do everything they can to take care of them during this time. A number of their employees who have, who they could figure out how to do it, and when, a company that large and your entire business structure literally gets flipped on its head, a lot of people got to work hard to figure out how to keep things moving. And, so many of those employees who had never done so before are now working from home. And that's how they're able to keep the website running and the distribution centers and, some of the other things. Guitar Center right now are one of the only companies in the EMI business still operating. So if you clicked on this video to see just how crazy I am, and to see, if you already disagreed with me from the get-go, even before I opened my mouth, maybe Guitar Center aren't quite as bad as a lot of people think they are. I know from experience, because I spent many, many years as one of those frontline employees, and I'm very grateful for that. With the time I was working for Guitar Center, the salary and the money the living that I was earning at that time, that paid for my wedding, that paid for the down payment on this house that I'm living in now, among, many other things, as well as not to mention a lot of the gear that you see sitting, that I'm surrounded by in this room. Guitar Center's been very, very good to me. And Guitar Center does, they do try. They do put forth their best effort. Sometimes their resources are limited, and they are only able to do so much. But generally speaking, they really do care about their employees. They really do care about their customers, and they are doing the best that they can. So I'm not going to sit here and pretend like they're not perfect and there's not some areas that they could improve on. There certainly are, but there's not a company in the world that doesn't have those areas that they can improve on. So Guitar Center, you continue to have my support. I will continue to support you publicly with this channel as I am able to do so. And yeah, leave your comments down below, because I'm willing to bet there's a lot of people out there that may not be aware of this. And it might just change a lot of people's minds. So yeah, leave a comment down below. Please consider subscribing if you haven't already. And thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, everybody.